Spacestation versus TSM. TSM, the last hope for Oceania in this tournament. Spacestation, well, the last hope maybe for themselves, facing some, well, we've been over it a million times, but their own adversity after yesterday. They're in prove it mode, James, not to other people, but to themselves.
Yeah, I think to everybody, Jorby. I think it's to everybody. I think, you know, it was disappointing what happened yesterday, but a learning experience. And so we'll see what Spacestation learned from yesterday.
You want to know what's crazy? You know how down bad NA is, James?
Tell me.
They haven't won a single game today. So if TSM did some crazy stuff and, like, say they 3-0'd Spacestation.
You mean a series, right? Because we won some games.
You're right. NRG did win 2 games against K. You're right. It is series. I almost had you.
Yeah, almost. But, you know, they're still looking to get a win here. And I think it's expected when you look at just the raw talent. A lot of people rating SSG quite highly, but they're a bit of wild card. So we'll see how things go. We've seen wild card themselves be able to put up some good performances against Team Secret, obviously falling a little bit short, but these teams from OCE, they can catch you sleeping if you're not ready. It's
not like this team it has a lack of talent on it. We've been talking about it all week. Talking about it all year, how OCE's decline is, while we all meme on it, it really is still kind of shocking, especially with how they were looking about 8 months ago. But since then, Amphis and company, Amphis, who was once the new hope, the new kid on the block in OCE, you haven't seen him kind of take center stage in a while. So you got a lot of players on both sides here that trying to prove things to a lot of people, but just trying to stay alive in the tournament is task number one.
Even for Super Lucky, you remember when KCP was able to take out Monkey Moon, BDS back in the day, and even knocking him out of the tournament. So, you know, we've seen OCE get big upsets before. This would be another big one.
Well, Spacestation get a free goal here. TSM leave the back door open. Did somebody get bumped? Well, Super Lucky just got dunked, I think.
Long-range goal, regardless of, you know, how it happened. SSG going to be very happy with this early lead. We'll see how TSM responds.
Amphis tries for the quick hit. Kaka up high. Kaka last year at EWC played like a man I've never seen him play like before. He was playing with Hunter and Jorias, and they're actually going to score here, striking back against Spacestation early.
And that's a solid goal here. You can see Amphis getting a 50. Kaka, instead of launching it straight at goal, you know, puts a little soft one, but the defense was beat. There was nobody back from Spacestation, and then a little extra help on the tap-in from his teammate. So good response here from TSM, but this is a nice kickoff possession off the bat for SSG.
Reveal, force back. Everybody on Spacestation ready to receive. But they just lost the ball completely. Super Lucky gets a free goal. So Scribbles, no play here. He goes downfield to maybe be an option. And then I'm not sure what Kofor was thinking there.
I think Kofor was surprised he didn't hit the ball on that first go. I think he was expecting either to be given the space or for him to go for that touch. And when neither happened, Kofor was lost. And now you really do look to see how SSG responds to this adversity.
Kofor gets nice catch and chain dash, but can't get much more. And TSM had almost gotten a third goal there a second ago with the bump in front on the bump and go, if you will, as it's drilled forward. Super Lucky not going to get a chance at it. Spacestation, a pass to nobody. Scribbles forced to play it out to the corner, but it's TSM in the driver's seat right now, James.
That's not looking super promising for Spacestation. TSM catching, SSG sleeping.
And a lot of Z's on the blue half. Put out Reveal. Just could not get back to the ball. He put it away from himself. He couldn't recover. Everybody else on Spacestation needed more time. And Reveal had to find a way to protect that ball for a little longer. Couldn't do it.
Kickoff strat for SSG. They do cleanly win possession, and Reveal has a lot of boost, but Kaka's there to slow down the counterattack, even getting another touch. Gopher just push that ball forward. But Jorby, I think this is a worrying sight for anyone who's a Spacestation fan, especially given how yesterday went.
Well, I think this, like you just said earlier, now how do you respond to this situation? It's game one. You still got a lot of series to play. You got a lot of game to play. We were just talking about it before the game, that this TSM team, there's no lack of talent on this roster. These guys have performed. Kaka, last EWC, was one of the best performing players in the entire tournament. These guys are all capable of it. Spacestation can't rest on any laurel that they could just walk over an OCE team. They're not that type of team. And TSM are showing it right now, and they're telling Spacestation, you're going to have to play a good game to beat us. Super Lucky, down on the pass, couldn't connect.
You're 100% right, Jorby. This is not a series where SSG can just autopilot and expect to win.
TSM, a great start for them. After Wildcard got eliminated in heartbreaking fashion to Team Secret. Love to continue representing Oceania. Stay alive in the lower bracket in Group D. Popped up high. Less than 2 minutes to go for Spacestation to get this series or get this game down to 1.
I like that extra touch that Scribbles was able to get. This is finally some time on attack. And Reveal going for the bump. Excellent high percentage play, but the follow-up save was there. SSG getting closer.
Kofer able to protect the retreat. Reveal is a heavy touch. Wasn't able to get a solid 50. Spacestation have to dive back to the ball. Boost protected by TSM. TSM slipped through. Super Lucky avoids the bump. Gets across 1, and you call the fake.
I like that fake from Super Lucky. It's caught SSG out a few times. They've been having trouble reading exactly what TSM is going for. TSM doing a good job of being unpredictable.
No touch here for Spacestation just yet. Kofer tries to keep control. That extra touch, they're just not putting their car behind the ball. Really, these air dribbles are just giveaways for Spacestation. TSM still in full control of this. Super Lucky never intending to hit that ball. Reveal drops this down. This is the best look he's had. Tries for the bump, and Reveal takes it. Gets the first, or the second goal, excuse me.
And Reveal was doing this just a little bit earlier. This time, he bounces his own shot and powers through. Doesn't need any help on the follow-up, but an excellent lead bump play. Reveal keeping some hope for SSG.
How often can solo plays help you get over the hump? You get one every now and again, and they were able to get a free ball because of that kickoff.
Scribbles was a little too close to the play. You could see how awkward he was jumping up on that. He was so close to being able to have that free ball with lots of boost, but still SSG have a chance. There's the bump. The shot is blocked to the side by Kaka.
Kaka spending all of his boost to get back in front of that ball. TSM just may take the first game of this set. Scribbles opens up one for Kofer. It's open, and time runs out. The ball ends at the top of the box.
Crazy ending there. It looked like maybe, just maybe, SSG was going to be able to bring that back. Force overtime in the last second, but they fall just a little bit short. And you know, now I think everybody holding up a microscope to SSG, seeing how they're going to respond to this adversity. They were the heavy favorites coming into this one. You know, I think TSM, though, maybe they smell blood in the water. Maybe they see what happened yesterday and know that, hey, let's not give up. Maybe we can tilt these guys. Maybe we can get this win.
Well, I mean, Super Lucky in particular, I thought, looked very good and kept Spacestation really guessing what he was going to do behind the ball. And we've seen Super Lucky do it before. You called it out a couple of years ago. He had a standout performance. The crowd has a chant after Super Lucky. That tells you how iconic that guy is and the moments that he's created in Rocket League history. He could do it again. It's always a confidence issue with OCE. If Super Lucky's confident, I would be scared if I were Spacestation.
Playing confidently. I mean, honestly, for Spacestation as well, not the normal Spacestation that you see. Only 2 demos that game, when normally Kofer's demoing, what, 4 by himself a game in RLCS? So that is a big departure from the normal SSG strategy. We did see a couple bumps from Reveal. One of them did result directly in a goal, but we'll see if SSG can bounce back or if TSM is going to be able to upset here. Would be a big win for them, but SSG are the first to strike.
Well, here you go. You get everyone looking at Scribbles, and then Reveal pops out of the box to get the goal. To Spacestation, they score quickly. This is how game 1 started as well, and TSM clawed their way back quickly.
Very true, Jorby. TSM playing, it appears like they're playing confidently. It feels like they're doing everything right so far. And they, oh, surely it goes in, finally. Are you a future teller, or what do they call that, a magician? I
believe Oracle is the correct term. Yeah, you could call me Mr. Oracle Jorby. It doesn't sound that great, but I like it. Either way, how many goals or non-goals have we seen like that this week, where it's just bouncing on the inside of the post?
Then gets cleared off.
Yeah, that one actually goes in.
Felt like a lot. It has felt like a lot, but like you said, yeah, this one going in, and TSM going to be feeling very good about that. And another tilter for SSG, and no shot coming out. Surprising that there was no contact there. And now Kofer is last back with no boost. Finally does get some help.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be whiffing that 10 out of 10 times. That's not what you want to see if you're Space Station.
Oh, and a cut from Kofer as well. Scribbles probably had the better angle, certainly had more boost to be able to get more power on the shot. SSG, there are some worrying signs developing.
Kofer keeps control of the ball, but it pinches back out to the opposite side. Space Station have the half. They get a demo. They need control. Kofer pop, pass, shot, and saved. A little awkward. Nobody from TSM actually right off the top of the net, recovering quickly, and a race to the ball. Kaka will take a demo for his efforts, but it's a free ball for reveal. Double tap denied. There was no orange trail. Super Lucky didn't get a piece of it.
Looking much better from SSG though. Almost getting a rebound opportunity. It was good ball movement as well leading up to the shot. A decent shot as well.
What a touch.
Drop pass. Super Lucky decides to dive in. Can be risky when you're the third man. And now this is given a brief numbers advantage for SSG, but Amphis does well to keep this into the corner. But Amphis gonna have to go again. No, it does get some help from Kaka. But SSG having multiple good attacks now. The defense from TSM holding up.
Amphis, a nice approach. He didn't have a lot of boost to help out with that reset. Amphis has to run back quickly now. And nice approach to the ball. Didn't put himself in demo territory, if you will. And keeps TSM locked tied. But Space Station are hunting. Kofer is demoing, bumping, but no shot at all. And it just taunts them in the box.
A couple times Scribbles has been so close to being in the right spot. Just a little too close to the play. But overall, I think these are positive developments for SSG. They're getting more and more chances, and finally they break through.
Kofer will finally get a game-leading goal here. Scribbles does get the setup and this little chip on Super Lucky, so he has no chance to recover, forcing an impossible save out of Kaka.
I think we're seeing SSG start to get up to speed. They have the lead. They've been keeping TSM back, but this one off kickoff, so it's heading right towards the net.
Definitely has, they've been able to hang on to the ball. I think their touch quality was something that definitely killed them in game number 1, where every touch they tried to control was heavy, and it was into an orange car, and they couldn't get their car actually behind it. That hasn't been the case with Scribbles and company this time. Space Station coming alive.
That raw talent starting to show itself. Look at this play from Scribbles. The late contortion to get the flip reset. Clean goal, great stuff from Scribbles, and you can see him getting high.
Getting lippy. He's getting lippy. You like to see it. A different energy for Space Station, and they kill him on the kickoff.
SSG have taken control of the game.
Well, just a little slip on the cheat up kickoff. You're just the faster player. And Kofer and company doing much better here in game number 2. Now TSM, the ball's in their court.
Kickoff strat again. And we've been seeing a lot of kickoff strats for SSG, and it seemed to have worked out so far. They're getting possession off kickoff quite a bit.
Another demo and another goal. Nice job from Scribbles. As soon as you called him out earlier, James, he's almost in the right spot. He's almost doing the right thing. All of a sudden, he's at the center of every single one of these goals for Space Station.
Space Station's hit a different level right now, and I think this is the SSG that people probably were expecting in game 1. And another fake kickoff here from SSG. They're going almost every time. They are mixing it up on the kickoffs.
Well, clearly some lessons were learned. What a shot! Wow. My God, Amphis.
Oh man, this one was crazy. Almost just going straight in, but Amphis even following that up. Look at that.
Jeez.
Unblockable.
The fact that bounces right back to him is insane.
Prepared for it. Prepared for it. I mean, he's probably like, surely this is going to not go in, right? It's going to just sit on the goal line.
That would be the OCE luck. He knows. Well, okay. That's a goal, maybe? Yes, it is.
Wow.
All right. That was a very interesting progression there.
Fireworks this game. Look at this. Scribbles hits it, keeps on, gets the second touch, keeps on going, lands a double. That was so much effort done by Scribbles, and then you see the orange trail on that ball. That play, a bit of a head scratcher all around, but Scribbles is putting it all his heart into this game, and you'll love to see it.
Wow.
Pick off again. It works out for SSG.
Well, Spacestation are trying to make up for the goal differential that they have in this tournament right now, and making up for it with lightning speed, putting a 7 spot on TSM.
So many kickoff strats as well. See if they do it again. How many can they have?
Well, they tried 2 back this time. But they do get possession.
TSM's like, all right, well, they're probably not going to go for it off kickoff.
They do get the clear. They have a man downfield, but Reveal gets the touch first. TSM needs something to feel good. I guess Amphis can feel sort of good about that one.
And it was a good team play. You see, Scribbles was forced to play high. The demo was coming low, so that opens up a gap low for the shot. And Amphis hits the mark well.
Well, I mentioned the goal differential earlier, James. They're currently at -20. So when you think about what the scoreline is now, that tells you how much that goal differential was before. A minute 10 left. And TSM, you get this goal. Can you get a little more rhythm going and show some more life in the series? But I think after that game 1, maybe the Space Station of yesteryear would have folded in game 2. But clearly it's a new day and a new Space Station. Putting a 7-3 line with less than a minute to go. And this is what the NA fans wanted to see out of this team, and you want to see how a young team like Space Station responds to the adversity that they had yesterday. And so far, it's looking very good for Space Station.
Yeah, they just keep piling it on. Keep piling it on. I think they came out today with an idea of redemption. They wanted to prove to everybody that they can be better. And after game 1, it was, you know, I was a little worried for SSG.
It wasn't looking that great.
It went down, but the response from this game, I think, you know, that is a big step forward towards redemption for SSG.
TSM will do what they can to keep the ball away from Space Station. You saw that last kickoff again, gave Space Station a free possession. TSM, you're gonna have to find a way to adjust to that kickoff. So you talked about TSM, they're like, all right, we know you're not gonna go for the ball. So what do you do if you know the fake kickoff is coming? What do you do if you're TSM in game 3?
Well, they'll have time to figure it out. Got at least a minute to discuss it. I think it might be a little too late to try to come up with something new, maybe. Maybe they could talk about previous scrims, what has worked, what hasn't, and look forward to game 3. But game 2 was all SSG. They dominated TSM. They came out swinging. They had kickoff strats left and right. Scribbles was everywhere making plays. Space Station looked good.
And a lot of team play as well. I think the only goal that Space Station got in game 1 was that reveal solo play. But you talk about Scribbles being at the center of everything here in game number 2, but it was absolutely a full team effort. Not as demo heavy still as we're used to seeing Space Station online.
I might push back, yeah, maybe online, but it's that game, 9 demos.
The bar's high. Yeah.
The bar is quite high.
Yeah.
But 9 demos is much different than just the 2 demos that we saw from game 1.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's any coincidence that, you know, you up the demos and the result is there for SSG. They found that adjustment. They made it work. They looked very good game 2, and now all the pressure is shifted over onto TSM.
Well, if you're TSM, Space Station aren't coughing up the ball as easily as they were in game 1. That's what made those counterattacks a lot easier. Now, when Space Station aren't giving up the ball, how do you force them off of the 50s? Now you have to be the better team. So TSM, ball's in their court once more here in game number 3.
And another fake kickoff. This one doesn't really pan out right away. I think TSM is expecting it. They're waiting to see it. So maybe they fake kickoffs, losing a little bit of effectiveness, as we see TSM have extended possession here off that kickoff.
And I guess not everybody can be K-Corp and have 30 kickoffs in the notebook. Cleared out downfield, TSM.
And it's almost like you got to have that offensive coordinator calling the plays too.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Farah have the wristband on his on his arm.
Trying to predict what the other team's mindset is going to be to calculate the most effective play.
No one's really been able to get a hold of this ball just yet. A lot of booming. Someone's eventually going to have to bring this ball down. And straight across. That is an interesting way to make the save, but a save is a save. Spacestation still have the ball. It's starting to get a little bit of possession. They got the midfield boost. Full retreat as they see TSM in the sky. And a good catch here from Scribbles, looking for a way out.
Call for air dribble pass over. Scribbles going for the double, but couldn't put it on target. And there's another pinch that's going to go all the way back to SSG's corner. Heavy first touch from Scribbles. Amphis was there for the contest. Super Lucky goes for goal, and that's going to be an easy save for Reveal.
Still a chance, though. Kaka sends it down. Net still covered. Kofer, he sees gold, but can't quite get the pick on it, but he gets the bump and it's saved.
Needed more power on that shot, but you can see all members of SSG.
What?
He's so low on boost.
Super lucky. Okay, I see your game. You can't be beaten so easily. 2 minutes into the game, and you thought surely 1-0 Space Station. Instead, TSM put a shot on target, or a little off target, but enough to get Space Station looking at the ball. And a little bit of space, but Scribbles with no boost, forced to dump and chase. And another catch. TSM have some life here.
Great defense from TSM. Not folding under the pressure. SSG, though, I think did well on the attack with such low boost to make it threatening. Coming very close to walking away with the goal.
Kaka running back, wanted the boost, wanted to play defense. Can't quite get to the 50. Space Station gets set up for this one. Backboard clear, easy. But Kofer's here with boost. Can't quite get back to the ball. Scribbles missed his corner boost, and he gets demoed.
I think it spawned right after he left. So it's just unfortunate timing for Scribbles there.
Still getting those 50s, though. I think they mitigated a lot of that pain just now. As if Amphis gets a better touch, TSM got a really good possession. Instead, they're missing the ball. But that might work out for Kaka. Redirect too light, easily saved.
Pass a little bit awkward for Scribbles, but lets it bounce off the wall. Gets it up and over to Reveal. Reveal going for the double, but sent it wide.
Good idea. You had the net covered. Try to create an opening with the wall. Amphis gets a little pull bump to help him out. Kaka downfield. Pops it over. Super Lucky loses the touch completely. That is fully awkward. Amphis is getting bumped. Harassed. Kaka saves him. And another pump out. Reveal has to leave. No boost available for him as he uses everything, and it kicks away from the one player who could have shot it.
TSM again streaking back. That man from behind getting back just in time to make the save. Excellent effort from TSM, making sure that there's additional help back on defense.
Much better form from TSM. No rebound. Demo on the backside from Super Lucky. Kaka, 50 boost with control. Just tried to keep that ball locked into the corner. Get demoed, but Super Lucky, supersonic into the ball. Demoing, one more shot, but it's saved again. Somehow, Kofer credited and keeps it out.
Super Lucky gets it around one. Reveal from an awkward position. Slowed it down for a bit. Kaka trying to use his boost. And a good clear from Kofer. That'll buy a lot of time.
The defense for Space Station starting to look a lot like the defense from GK against Furia. There was no real opportunity. Every ball killed into the corner. Every seeming opportunity actually fools goal. SSG, they still haven't scored though. Here's the first, Scribbles!
Super Lucky was caught. I think surprised that this ball made it around. Was expecting Kaka to get a 50 and keep it in the corner, and when it got up and over Kaka, Super Lucky completely caught off guard, an easy goal, and you see Scribbles shouting.
He's got some attitude tonight.
I want to hear the player comms on that. I want to know what he's saying.
Hopefully it's safe for broadcast. Kaka for TSM in game number 3. Want to tie this up. Super Lucky next up. You got boost, but you don't have the ball. TSM, maybe they get a chance. It's knocked down to the ground. Space Station hold on with an excellent defensive performance in game number 3. Game 2 is offense. Game 2 is defense. Game 4, one more to go here, James, to eliminate TSM.
TSM, they kept it close. It was a good response from them, honestly. Their defense was keeping them in it for a long time. And it was that one play in the corner, that defensive breakdown, where Super Lucky and Kaka not on the same page. You know, it's because it's not necessarily a bad play if you have somebody where Super Lucky is to try to force the wraparound, because it could be an easy clear for Super Lucky. But Super Lucky was totally expecting a 50 or something, and there's the bump and the save. Super Lucky getting back just in the nick of time. Saw that a few times from TSM.
Now, so many close calls, and then this one right here. What a save the other way. Kofor getting that one after Scribbles had made the save right before. And then, of course, the only goal scored in game number 3. And the hype on the Space Station side. As now Space Station, it's a completely different team on day 2 of the Esports World Cup. They need one more game, and they got a date in the lower bracket tomorrow.
I think they're locked in. I mean, you see the passion that Scribbles is playing with as well. They are not here to mess around. They're not here to give up.
All that being said, TSM, they did keep it tight. They did have some good opportunities. This will not be a gimme game at all for Space Station. Amphis off the sidewall and passes it right over to Space Station. Tries to make up for it. It's still Space Station ball. Quick give, quick go, but no shot.
It looked like it was a nice pass. That was shaping up, maybe threatening opportunity. But TSM's defense last game was very, very good. And this game as well, looks like they're off on the right foot.
When we talk about, Space Station, they were able to keep the ball closer to the chest in game 2, hence why they were able to score 8 goals. TSM were never able to get boost. That means you can't gain momentum, James, but they had a lot more speed that time, matching Space Station in speed in game number 3. That's the actual stat. I'm not giving you a Fields fact chat. That is from our statistician. Thank you very much. Super Lucky. Throw that one downfield as TSM still look for purchase here in the blue half. Good catch from Amphis, but a heavy touch still makes it work, but the pass was not available.
Much more possession from TSM this time around as well. Last game, they were trailing in the possession stat of 54% in favor of SSG. But we're seeing much more time on attack in SSG's half as well. Relentlessly attacking. See if it pans out.
Super Lucky cuts the clear pass down, but he gets demoed for his effort. Space Station set the pike. They actually got the fence down, but no one can really go for it with that bounce. Good job dropping this pass down, and nobody is home. Third man had dove for the pass. Couldn't get there. Scribbles collects.
And I love the performance that Scribbles is putting together in this series.
Oh, he got bumped.
The youngest player on the team, but you can see that he's been a leader out there with his gameplay, with his, even just the emotion that he's bringing to this series. I love what I'm seeing from Scribbles.
Absolutely. You need that kind of energy. And after that game 1, the fact that that energy was still there, huge for Scribbles. You can see that energy has translated to the stats, to the on-field gameplay for Space Station. TSM have had some great effort, had some great plays, but the offense has proven to be quite difficult. They cannot find a way into Space Station's net despite putting together good possessions and good opportunities.
Pre-jump. Oh my goodness.
What?
He's feeling it, Jorby.
His biceps are huge on this one. Touch, wave dash, a little pre-jump, pre-flip pass. Wait a minute, that was ridiculous. What? Scribbles. Okay, son.
MVP performance from Scribbles. like I was saying, the performance he has put together for this series, and even thinking back to game one where TSM won game one, I think we were all holding our breath wondering if SSG was going to fall off the rails, but I think Scribbles has been the heart and soul of this team for this series.
Hard hit for Spacestation. You've been able to see it on their faces since the start of game two. I think they really believe in themselves. TSM, can they find a way to chill the Jets at all? That's a free net and a free goal. Kofer will collect Reveal's points.
Well, Kofer is there because, I mean, with a shot like this, it's not necessarily a given. You want to be there just in case he hits it off the post. Kofer there to make sure that ball goes in and did his job, even though it was a steal.
Always. 2 minutes to go. And now, TSM, what are you going to do? You have not scored in quite a while here. Kofer gets tripped up a bit, still makes the 50 work. And I really do feel like it. First touch quality makes all the difference, doesn't it? Like Spacestation, I really felt like it was that first touch quality that was killing them. And then that's just been gone since game two, and TSM have no answer.
Yeah, SSG's hit a different gear. And like I was saying before, particularly I think Scribbles stepped up big time this series, looking very good.
One of the best shots of the day.
Yeah, making some highlight plays. And this should be another goal. Oh! That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to have somebody in front of net.
To be fair, that ball wasn't on target.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be. I mean, the net was open, but the angle's really tough on that, even though Reveal hit the mark last time. But a good play by the defense, getting a demo on the oncoming attacker that was going to try to finish that ball off. The time running out for TSM, less than a minute to go, down by 3.
Game 2 and game 4, it made me feel like I'm back online at home casting a Spacestation game. There's about a demo every 3 seconds, and the score is like 3 to whatever, 8 to whatever. Spacestation finding the form, finding the potential against TSM, but super lucky. Not so quiet here, 31 seconds. Certainly improbable, but not impossible.
It's certainly not impossible. If you watched RLCS, the Ultimates and Gentlemates fiasco, I think it was 3 goals in 9 seconds. So we'll see what kickoff tricks TSM has. Tried to go for a slow kickoff, but it was countered by the speed flip. Fast kickoff from SSG. So time melting away. SSG look like they have this one in the bag, Jorby.
I think they do. They're playing like it. They're jumping around the ball like they've won 15 seconds, and they will have won. Amphis misses the ball. He had no boost. Time running away, and it's a victory lap for Spacestation. It's the start of the journey to redemption for Spacestation. The only step they could have taken was the next one. They got another leg to go here, but Spacestation are back in the tournament. Super Lucky will take one for the road, but OCE has been eliminated from the Esports World Cup.
Great stuff from Spacestation Gaming. Scribbles, my personal MVP on that one. But a bounce back from SSG, a disappointing performance yesterday, but they put that behind them. This is a new SSG, and they got the result today, knocking out TSM.
The confidence builder they needed, and I will say the start to the redemption that they needed, because sure, you can defeat the rats on level 1 of the dungeon, but level 2, that's when the orcs and the goblins start coming. It doesn't get easier from here. Spacestation know it though, they know the job, and I'm excited to see more of them tomorrow and see what they can do. TSM, great effort here against Spacestation. I thought they had some great looks. Unfortunately for them, their key will be getting crushed.